been an interesting 4 years.
I'll bet it has.
Accomplished a lot in 4 years.
I think. There's just been a lot in the past 4 years in general.
Hey, listen, though, that stuff will break. We have to be careful of that.
Okay.
Those are like $1,160.
What?
I don't know what happened last time.
Okay. That load of too much wells has to go to the job in the morning first thing. So let's put them on the back of the trailer so they can be dropped off before we go to work.
Huh?
Said the whole county room listening to hear his conversation.
We're live streaming, gentlemen.
Okay.
So if you guys want to, if you want to mute yourselves until, if you need to speak or vote, that way the background noise isn't too bad? Or are you okay?
I'm sorry about that, I thought I was muted just a second ago. I apologize.
No,
If you still in here.
It's fine.
listen,
It's fine.
you're good, you're good. We still have 3 minutes, y'all, so. We're socially distancing.
We are, yes.
Well, the phones aren't.
I thought I could smell Brian's breath.
Who says we can't have one?
They're snugged up together.
Yeah. If you guys start arguing, we'll have to separate you.
Tell him to keep his hands off of me.
Okay. So awkward waiting. It's now 6 o'clock. I'd like to call the regular meeting for the Gilmer County Board of Education to order for June 27th, 2022. Mr. Minnie?
Here.
Dr. Barr?
Here.
I'm present. Brian Kennedy?
Here.
Dr. Miller?
Present.
Tom, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam President,
Okay, yes?
I would like to make a motion to add an agenda item to tonight's agenda.
Okay. What's the purpose?
based on the fact that the vote for the assistant principal position was postponed to a later date, I move to add the vote for assistant principal at Gilmer County High School to be added to the personnel portion of the agenda.
Yeah, we can amend it as long as it's at the beginning of the meeting. How was the motion? Just one second, Dr. Barr, if you don't mind. I wasn't at the last. Well, it just depends on how the motion was made. How was the motion made for the last? I don't have the minutes.
Under personnel, Hillary Miller moved to not fill the assistant principal position at this time and discuss at a future meeting, second by Jason Barr, motion carried 3-0.
Okay. All right, so since it wasn't, we can go ahead then and add it to our agenda this evening. Under personnel, we'll just need to vote on that in order to do so. So there is a motion to add the vote for the vice principal at the high school back on the agenda due to the last motion stating that it would be discussed at a further, what was it, next meeting? Future meeting?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to add to the current agenda the voting for the vice principal for Gilmer County High School. Any other discussion?
Well, I thought the intention when we did that was so the new board could decide.
If it wasn't stated, I don't know that we could say that.
I'm just stating that that was the intention.
Okay. Well, that wasn't how it was voted on, so we'll have to go ahead, and if we can move further down in the agenda, if you want to change it. Okay. I'm sorry?
You gotta vote,
Okay.
sorry.
All right, so there has been a motion and a second to go ahead and place the vice principal on the agenda based on the motion from the last meeting for it to go to be discussed at a later date. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
No.
I'm gonna abstain, because
Okay.
I think in the whole motion and all, we said that it was going to be delayed to that period of time for the new board. If that's not so, then that's not so. Anyway, it
Okay.
passed, so.
All right, so motion carried, so we will, do we just go ahead and I guess we'll put that under personnel then to be discussed later in the agenda. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to delegations then. We have Mr. Cox. I should have asked him.
Apologize for the appearance. I've been in the Rexton kitchen all day, so. All right. I'm here representing the faculty at Gilmer County High School as Faculty Senate President. Over the past 2 days, we have prepared many points to consider on filling the position of vice principal at our school. We'd like to take some time right now to go over these points. The first, in the last posting for principal at Gilmer County High School, there were 51 duties listed for the principal. When you go back and look at the last posting for vice principal at Gilmer County High School, it included all of those duties of the principal plus 5 additional duties, bringing the vice principal's duties to 56 total duties. Throughout many times throughout the year, teachers need advice and emotional support from administrators. Being a school that has grades 6 through 8, there's many times when we go to the office on our planning to get this support, and one or both of the administrators are busy in meetings in the office dealing with something else. If it was moved down to one administrator, our time for support could be cut in half when we need it immediately through the day. SAT and IEP meetings require that an administrator must be present to chair them, which is difficult enough on our schedule these days with 2. Safety and liability is also a concern when we really need to always have at least one administrator in the building, and we know that that is not always possible. We also know that administrators are required to work all athletic events, and being a school that is grades 6 through 12, we have an event, especially during basketball season, almost every night where an administrator needs to be present. We're concerned on the workload of our office staff and teachers with the loss of an administrator, on what that might do in terms of adding more duties to everybody that we might not be able to handle. Discipline is also a concern. If we have a problem with discipline and we write it up, if we only have one administrator, how quickly will that administrator be able to address certain discipline issues? There's also a worry that if discipline is left simply to the teacher, that things might become more inconsistent. There's a substitute shortage, and the assistant principal for the past 2 to 3 years has been the one who has filled those sub positions every day. And when I say that, I can personally attest, because Mr. Payne and I are there together at 7 o'clock every morning, or have been. And the first thing he does is check the subsystem to see what jobs are not filled. He then tries to manually call subs that the position hasn't filled. And was that my 3 minutes?
You can finish your thought. Go ahead and finish your thought.
Furthermore, with that, he then, if he cannot fill that position, has to try and rotate through a teacher coverage system to figure out which teachers are going to cover for that job that day. Can I finish my last? I'll wrap this up here. I mean, I've
If the
got
board is
several.
okay with that, are you guys fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna keep rolling then I don't have too much more. Okay. Right now, 2 administrators split our evaluations as a staff, and we do have a rather large staff to evaluate. Our 2 administrators split the evaluation of our lesson plans and pacing guides, which I can attest has been helpful, because one administrator looks at them 1 week, and the next one looks at them another week. So really, instead of one administrator looking at our stuff and giving advice, we get 2 on and off throughout the year. Professional walkthroughs are a concern when dropping down to only 1. Professional development. Usually when we have professional development at the beginning of the year, one administrator does that with us while the other one handles issues that are needing, beginning of school, checking in new students, things like that. If we only have 1, would we get that half a day at the beginning of the year to go over things with our principal? Risk of losing staff. Another item of concern was if this was a budgeted item in our yearly agenda, how would that affect us as a county if that's not filled? That's just a question we had. In closing, personally, I had to log over 30 hours in that office when I got my administrative degree. And I can tell you that there are days where we need 3 principals at that place. Not every day. I can tell you that every day both principals were busy when I had to do my observation. The last thing I want to add is we'd like to ask that you consider these points when making your decision. And thank you for the opportunity for us to speak.
Thank you. Ms. Ashley?
The following staff have been in contact with us in support of the need of an assistant principal at Gilmer County High School. Laura Stump, Kelly Barr, Jacob Yoakum, Kelsey Hickman, Laura Chapman, Katrina Frederick Howes, Ashley Barker, Faith Norris, Avon McHenry, Michelle Workman, Alicia Martin, Veda Woodford, Annetta Huffman, Heather Ferris, Tina Foster, Brittany Dooley, Tabitha Bell, Ronnie Facemeyer, Nick Cox, Linda Cordero, Morgan Allen, Barb Yoder, Jennifer Harper, Cora Wiggins, Melissa Jones, Charlene Montgomery, Crystal Conrad, Natalie White, Patty Nicely, and Amy Chapman.
Thank you. Mr. Putnam?
Good evening.
just respectfully ask and appreciate that the assistant principal position has been placed back on the board agenda. Would ask that the board please give it serious consideration. It's a needed position. I would also ask that with personnel decisions such as these, that the process be followed to follow the recommendation of the superintendent, presenting those personnel issues to the board for consideration. I appreciate all of these teachers that are here and staff, and we work hard, they work hard, and both positions work hard. And I appreciate seeing it back on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will go ahead. Thank you guys for your time. I'll go ahead and move into the consent agenda. Has everybody had the opportunity to review the minutes from the June 13th regular meeting?
Yes.
I'd move to approve.
Second.
Right, there's been a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the June 13th regular meeting. Any discussion? Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'm sorry? I missed that. Did everybody say aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Motion carries. I wasn't sure if that was a yay, nay, or All right, treasurer's report. Clay is not here. Are you?
Clay's not here.
Okay.
The schedules of checks to be written was in your packet, so, we asked for that. The budget supplements, transfers, and the monthly financial report. Clay has a family emergency, and he has been out of town since last week. He will be communicating with you by email, but he could not be here today. So he's still checking and working, but he will get that to you as quickly as possible.
Understand those circumstances. I'll entertain a motion to go ahead and approve the schedule of checks to be written as presented.
Let's move.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the schedule of checks to be written. Any further discussion about that item? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, so we will postpone item 2 and 3 to be reported on at your next meeting, which is July 5th,
Fifth is an organizational meeting.
your
yes.
organizational meeting.
And he's hoping to get it to you electronically prior to that.
Right, but to vote on it
Yes.
will be postponed until the July 5th meeting.
He said probably Thursday afternoon for the Teams meeting, that's what he was
He's
gonna try.
hoping, he's hoping, yes. If all goes well, he's hoping.
Okay. All right, so I'll go ahead and entertain a motion to postpone those 2 items until the next meeting.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
It's been a motion and a second to postpone the budget supplements and transfers and monthly financial report to be voted on until the next meeting. Any further discussion about those 2 items? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Okay, I'm also Joe this evening because he's in St. Mary's. So, animal processing classroom had a great first, this is, I'm reading to you from.
Okay.
Had a great first planning meeting, lasted about 2 hours. Patty, John, Joe, Nick attended and from the outside was Jason Shanty and Greg Martin attended from William Shriver. The next meeting is scheduled, he has July 5th, but I thought it was the 13th. Is that-
July 13th.
13th, that's what I thought, yes, so, the 13th. And Smith Land Surveying will be on site at Gilmer County High School Tuesday, June 28th, to start survey on our drainage issues out back. So that is where we're at with the animal processing classroom. And I did get a letter today from SBA, so I'm gonna frame it, that's yours, Nick. So whenever we get that, but we'll get the official one, but you can hang it in the new classroom. The secure entry at Gilmer County High School going well, moving on schedule, pulling cable through our building now, got some more openings for window and new door, and there's a progress meeting scheduled for that on Thursday, June 30th at 10 o'clock. The LED lighting, still need to do walkthrough at Gilmer County Elementary School. It was scheduled for last Tuesday, but was canceled, and after a final walkthrough, a punch list needs completed. The HVAC, 2 units are here and back parking lot at Gilmer County High School, still waiting
Those were the two we were waiting on, right?
What?
The ionization units?
Well, we've got them for all the
Oh, okay,
HVAC,
okay.
so they're in now, so they'll start installing them on the ones that we're not replacing. The ones that we're replacing come with it
Okay.
already. The Gilmer County High School additional flooring, wholesale carpet was on site today to start flooring in the science hall, 2 classrooms, vocational hallway, and media center. And this was big news that they are starting early on these areas so we can start putting the building back together. So that's good. And then, sigh of relief. Gilmer County Elementary Storage Building, still working with Williams and Shriver to get this good discussion, just trying to move it as quick as possible. And so those are Joe's updates on the facilities.
Okay. Did we do a formal press release for the animal processing classroom?
No, but now that I've got the.
Since you've got the letter,
Mhm.
can we do that? I think
And
that
then
would be
there'll
great
be
for our community to see.
An official release, so Myra, I'll get with you and we'll, where's you at? Go.
Sure, I wrote the story.
Yes,
Did I do something wrong?
No.
No, I was just wanting like an official, since we got the letter and the approval.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it would be good for everybody.
On Facebook,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll get
on
it there.
Facebook.
Facebook and wherever else we can put it.
Get it with a big old smile.
I'll leave in the morning, but feel free to give me a call.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Going to the beach or something?
Me?
Uh,
You want me to tell Joe how you do it real quick?
huh?
You want me to show Joe how
Yeah.
you do it real quick?
You should have told him to call in.
Shelley's not here to time and neither is Clay, and it was under 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Good job. For people that don't normally come to these, they kind of have this thing going that, you know, they time each other and see who can speak the fastest, so. Okay, new business, we have the mowing contract, we got the bid sent to us today on those.
Right, and we will have to postpone that to the first regular BOE meeting in July. The successful bidder has not produced a license and insurance yet. So we'll have to postpone, awarding that contract until we do get those items.
Okay.
So that's my recommendation, if we could have a motion to postpone it until we do receive those items.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second to postpone the approval of the mowing contract, based on the winning bidder not providing yet insurance and
Business license.
their business license until the next meeting.
Yes.
Is there,
He was hoping to have it to us today, but he's in Ohio dealing with the death in his family.
okay, all right. So there's a first and a second, a motion for, gosh.
Aye.
All opposed? Thanks, Hillary. All right, motion carries to postpone that. Old unfinished business,
I have none at this time.
okay, go ahead and move on to personnel.
Under personnel, as a new item added was the assistant principal at Gilmer County High School, and that would be Nathan Haynes.
Do you guys wanna take these one at a time? Or all together? How do you guys wanna do it?
There's only,
I'm sorry, what's included?
I was asking if you guys want to take them all at once to include the addition of the vice principal and the extracurricular, or do you wanna take them one at a time?
I
You
would
wanna
say
vote on one
all
at a time?
together.
are there extracurricular?
Yeah, the updated agenda they emailed us today.
It's on.
Here. There's only one.
Okay, I'll get this.
Do you see the name?
Yeah, I do now.
So how do you guys wanna do that? Do you wanna do them one at a time or separate?
Let's do them separate.
Okay.
All together.
Mr. Minnie'd
We
like to,
agree.
huh?
We agree.
All together and separate? Am I gonna have to separate you guys? Sorry. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do them separately then, from, Mr. Minnie's request. So you can go ahead.
Okay, professional addition will be assistant principal at Gilmer County High School, Nathan Haynes.
So moved. Second.
Okay, there has been a motion and a second to hire Mr. Nathan, is it Hayes or Haynes?
Haynes.
Haynes for vice principal at Gilmer County High School. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Nay? Are you a nay? Okay. 3-2.
3-2. Under extracurricular, this would be Travis Fisher, is program coordinator at Gilmer County High School, and we're replacing Brandon Payne, who is currently the program coordinator right now.
What is the program coordinator?
That's overseeing summer school at Gilmer County High School.
Oh. So that would take effect immediately, like this summer session?
Yes, because, Brandon will start July 1, so summer school runs to the 29th, so yes.
Okay.
Move to approve,
Second.
Mr. Fisher, program coordinator.
There's been a motion and a second to approve Travis Fisher as program coordinator at Gilmer County High School under extracurricular personnel. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
And at this time, there's no recommendation for the mini Titan head girls basketball coach, but we will bring it back to the board.
Is there a lack of candidates,
No,
or is
it's
it?
just, the interviewing process and talking with the person that could possibly be given the job to make sure everything's fine.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't want to put the cart before the horse.
Okay, so are we gonna have to, oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay. Superintendent's information.
I just want to thank you and Brian for your service to the Gilmer County school system. We will miss you, but good luck on your future endeavors. And things are going along. It's been very busy this summer. It seems like you just can't, have a day without something going on. A lot of stuff going on at the high school. Excited to see when the school starts. It's going to be nice. The media centers will be very bright and colorful. It's going to look wonderful, very kid-friendly. So we're excited about that. We're excited about the new tile going down where it really needed that. And the secure entry is just a blessing to have, especially in today's world. And the animal processing classrooms. We have great
That's so
things
exciting.
going on. Yeah, great things. And Gilmer Elementary too, with the storage building. Maybe we can empty these 2 rooms when they get their stuff, get their building put together. So things are going well. But thank you for your service that you provided to Gilmer County students.
You're very welcome. Board member comments? Dr. Miller, do you have any?
Yeah, I just had a couple things. We talked about getting the school emails for all the new board members. I would like to see all the new board members get policy manuals, the district's policy manual.
They're all online.
Well, we probably need a manual. So that seemed to be a common theme this past weekend, that when we had new board members, they got a policy manual.
Now we're gonna take a little bit of time, so we'll have to wait till I get the whole staff back. We're kind of thin here, it's like 3 people a day, so.
Do we have bylaws?
You mean the governance of the board, yeah, it's in the policies too.
Okay, so we need a copy of that. One other thing that came up was Narcan in the schools,
Not real.
and that's probably a real good idea. Whether we need to, that needs to be something that we put on a future agenda, or whether it's something we just do. That's probably in today's world, we need to do that.
The nursing staff's equipped with it, probably.
I know at the prison, they put it with their AEDs.
Yeah.
So,
Unfortunately, it's sad that we have to even think about that, but.
well, yeah, it's not
It's-
something I had thought of myself, but yeah, that's something we need to do. The other thing is that I'm interested in trying to find money for armed resource officers for each of the schools.
Okay, that, I can help you with that. The county commission or the city or the sheriff's department will have to take the lead on that. What they do is they hire that person and then we would reimburse. And there is a grant out there that we can do it, but they have to take the lead on it because we cannot,
I talked to
in
Denny
full.
Fitzpatrick about it, he's on vacation right now, but he said when he
They've
got
agreed before.
back next week, that he thought there was grants available, but I think we need to make that a priority, is to,
That's been something that was on the safety committee, so whoever the new members, you know, when you move forward with the
And
safety
that's
committee.
another thing while you mention that, will we get, or do you have a list of all the committees so we can get people appointed to that?
We will do that
Yeah,
during
you'll
the
get that, sure.
organizational
Okay,
meeting.
so we'll
July fifth,
need
yes.
that list. And again, I don't know if this is something that needs to go on a future agenda, but, a couple of the counties are participating in the Homegrown Teachers Project through Glenville State College.
We are too.
Okay, and that's what I was
In fact,
inquiring about.
We have one that we submitted, hopefully, I haven't heard from, was graduating senior,
Okay.
yes.
And do you know much about that?
Not a whole lot, but I would work with Mark to get it going, and with Daniel Reed, and the other counselors.
Someone had said that, Connie Sandy Odell
Connie's down, yes,
Mhm.
yes.
did it, but,
Yeah.
there, so. All right, that's all I had for today.
Brian, do you have anything?
I don't have anything at all.
Really? Our last meeting and you're speechless.
Well, I'm not speechless.
Don't get him started.
Yeah.
I opened up that can of worms.
I appreciate you guys, and it's been good staying with you, and I've learned some being there, and sorry I didn't have more time, and I know you got some good people coming on the board, and I'm looking forward to watching you guys push all these new projects through. There were some great things happen while I was with you, and I was certainly proud to be a part of that, and thank you all.
I want to say ditto to that. It's been an interesting 4 years, to say the least. But it has been, it's a lot different than serving on city council or something like that, you know, because you've got children that are involved and, you know, the lives of a bunch of different little ones out there. And we have great teachers, we have great staff. We have a great community here. I mean, we really do. And COVID tested all of that in more ways than one, but in the end, everybody still comes together. We have one common goal, I think, and that's for the betterment of the children of Gilmer County. And like Brian said, I hope, you know, everybody just continues pushing forward. Not all these projects are done yet, so keep them going. I know you guys are gonna be able to, and like you said, we got good folks coming on the board and, that are very strong in the community as well. So thank you guys again for your support for the past 4 years. Dr.
Amy, I got a couple things. Are you finished?
I was gonna let Jason go and then you, is that okay? Dr. Barr? I'm going down the line.
All right.
I was just gonna say, thank you very much to Tammy and Brian for your service. I think we got a lot of great stuff done together. I'm very proud to have worked with you both. You worked tirelessly, for a very thankless position, and, just thank you all very much for everything you've done.
Thank you, Jason. Your turn. You can finish this off, Tom.
Well, I just wanted to tell you that the Career Center has found a nurse, so they'll be able to do their
Yes.
nursing program, healthcare program.
It's so needed,
Yeah.
so needed right now.
The other thing, that at our next meeting, I would like to review our policy on job postings. So if you would put that out at our next meeting, and for those of you that are here, many times when a board member objects to something, it's not necessarily the person or the job, it's the way it's managed. So I want to see the postings, I want to see how they're posted, when they're voted on, and who does it. And looking from that side to this side, many times you see the board member and think, well, that board member's against this person, that person, but many times it's not that, it's the process. and the process has to be done right, or there's big problems. So, I just wanted to make that clear, so I'd like to readdress our board policy. We've got the new board coming on, and look at the policy, make any changes we need to make that will keep those kind of things from happening. Because basically that's what we do as a board, we make the policy, we don't do anything other than that, and vote for or against the things that happen.
And I was just gonna add too, a lot of times we don't understand sometimes that a policy may need tweaked or changed until something comes up and brings it to our attention that, hey, you know, we might need to take a look at this again and revisit, and
Well-
is it, just because we did it this way 10 years ago, is it still in our best interest to do it this way
Well,
now?
that's why I'd like to have the manual, because I'd like to be able to sit down and go through everything.
And, you know, having so many new members come on this time, this is a good time for you guys to do that, is revisit policies and
Yeah,
take the time and develop your goals as a board, and,
For an example, some people will be posted, a policy will be posted, a job posting will be posted. You will have applicants, you don't hire anybody, you give no reasons why not. Then you post it again, and then you post it again, and the next time a job's posted, you can't wait 5 days to hire somebody. So I think we need to be consistent with what we're doing with personnel, and we just haven't been. And, we need to take a look at those policies, and when something's posted, the board needs to approve it. If the board approves the posting, it goes on prior to, and they're aware of it, I think we'll have a lot less problems. So let's just look at that as a board.
yeah, you'll probably have to, I think the policy doesn't read that way right now, so you'll probably have to.
Yes.
Yeah, Tammy, can I say something real quick?
Sure.
As far as our own, local policy, the board only needs to approve new positions, not positions that already exist. Positions that already exist are actually up to the superintendent.
In our policy as it stands now, you're saying? That's
Yeah,
why
I think
said
that's
we
how
need
it
to look
reads
at it.
now, so if you guys wanna change it, that's time for you all to get together and work with your superintendent, and
It's just easier for me to have it in hand.
It's policy 4130.
4130, I don't need to know anymore.
Yeah,
Did you
took
see me
care-
taking notes too? Like, I need to repeat, this is gonna be different for me. So if I show up at the next meeting and I sit down, just say, oh, Tammy, you know, and let me get on to the next thing. All right, if there,
I'm just requesting that we have that on the agenda at the next meeting.
the policy 4130,
Yes.
Are you wanting that on the organization meeting or the regular?
he wants it on the regular meeting, so
Regular
you guys can probably put it up for review, right?
Right.
Do we have a meeting scheduled?
That's what you'll vote on.
You guys will vote on that,
Yes.
and times, if you wanna change that. Guys, I got all kinds of new stuff to do.
Yeah.
Well, if there isn't anything further, I will, for the last time, make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Thank you guys very much.